Okay, okay. Uh, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon. Here we are from group number 5, present our poster and our essay with the title of Comparison Between Online Learning and Face-to-Face Learning. Uh, there are 6 of us. For the first member, here we have Ananda Riza. Uh, and then second we have Clive. Then for the third member, me myself, and fourth member we have Hilman, and then we have Majd Alali, and then the last one we have Mohammad Faris Ibrahim. So for the first, we for the introduction part, we want to some brief introduction on definition of what COVID actually means, how COVID actually does give impact to our life, our daily life, and then education has been changed because of coronavirus. And then we try to compare the advantages and disadvantages of online learning method with face-to-face learning method, and try to and then for the last we have our thesis statement, which is with an idea that whatever the online learning method is, as long as we have a good self-efficacy, that doesn't mean anything as long as we have a good self-efficacy. Okay, and then I'll pass to the first argument.
So the first argument is talking about the online learning. It has many drawbacks, especially in interactivity with equipments and self-discipline. So the first argument in one of the research articles, it says that the online learning, students in online learning can get the same amount or the same extent of knowledge as in traditional learning. However, the survey and the outcome of the survey suggests otherwise. And in the paragraph, I'm trying to give evidence on why online learning cannot be compared to traditional learning when it comes to the extent of knowledge that the student will receive. And that's for my argument.
So for the second one is the self-efficacy. In the self-efficacy is defined as the people judgment of their capabilities to organize and execute a course of action required to attain designated types of performance. So in the self-efficacy, I picked 3 of the research that could be related to the self-efficacy in online learning. So first one will be refer to the accuracy, which is the research from 2016. So in this research, it point out this computer self-efficacy is relevant to the training confidence and how is the performance to use the computer or any equipment, technology equipment. So this research is tested with 103 of the students on how they using the computer on self-efficacy in the online learning. So next one is the research of the from 2015. The research is on 2015. So they will seek the information and the internet and information seeking self-efficacy will be have the relationship between trainees' confidence and the ability to find the information from the internet. And the last one, the research is about from Martin and Tutti, 2018, and the Martin also have the research on the determines the learning management system self-efficacy on 2010. So this research will be summarize that self-efficacy is important to online learning during the pandemic period. So that's all for my part.
Okay, so next is my part. My part is counter-argument. For the counter-argument for argument 1, with its drawbacks, online learning is easier to manage, give freedom of pacing for the students, and promote self-discipline. So, according to the new research based on Mukhtar, it says that the student, due to this pandemic, can have an unlimited amount of resource and they have more time to study. Due to that, they can become a self-directed learners. And for the self-efficacy is personal skill. That means that effectiveness is going to vary, depend on the person, and can be a hard thing to manage. I think that's all for me.
So for the refutation to the counter-argument, since the counter-argument says that online learning is easier to manage and give the freedom of pacing, but the evidence, as stated in the first argument, says that 81% of the students have self-discipline problem, and as stated by Alexander's et al., he stated that self-discipline is the key factor for learners to achieve their education goals. So if the students doesn't have self-discipline, this can be very dangerous for their education. And then the other thing is the lack of interaction with a teacher. It is also a disadvantage, as stated by Samiran et al., which stated that medical students who has completed their senior year and they're able to carry more appropriate examinations during their practical training. And then for the self-efficacy is going to play a more important role compared to traditional learning, because student has to carry out their education on their own. So self-efficacy is going to carry more overall compared to the traditional learning method. That's it.
Okay, for my part will be the conclusion. So, in conclusion, the online learning we see today is not on par, not good enough with the traditional face-to-face learning we are used to. The problem is that there are too many drawbacks to online learning compared to offline learning. Then even if there's the good part like freedom of pacing and such, it is still too hard for students and the lecturers to contain. So even if there is the good part, the self-direct learning, it all depends on the self-efficacy of the students, which is again not a very effective method to rely on. So I think in the conclusion, we just try to stay safe, be healthy, and hope that the pandemic can end so we can go back to traditional learning again. It's my part. Go back to Fikriansyah.
Okay, I think that's it. That's all for us from us, and that will be the end of our presentation. Thank you very much, Doctor, for watching. Last we can say Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.